Hey Joe.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? We're going to do a bit more of our science today. We're going to formally start as we discussed yesterday.
So we're going to start with the circulatory system.
I thought we had agreed that we'll pick up from where you left off
yes.
with the digestive system. And
I
then,
forgot.
yeah.
And just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, you're frozen?
Dad.
Yeah.
He's when he was telling me that I could go into BBC Bite Size and watch some videos. He told me about the circulatory system.
So you now have an idea of the circulatory system as well?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want us to do what we had planned in terms of taking it from the digestive system? Or do you want to first of all give me an overview of what you have with regards to the circulatory system?
I want to continue with the digestive.
Okay, so shall we start with the digestive system? I thought that perhaps we could start with a quick review of you telling me about all the parts of the digestive system, so that we can draw it on there and leave it there. And then as we're covering it, we'll say, we've covered this part and tick, cover the next part and tick, cover the other part. And from where are we starting from?
The mouth.
To the?
Huh?
To the, where does it all come out?
Anus.
Fantastic. So, are you going to name the parts while I draw them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the mouth.
Yeah, okay. Or shall I just label them, then I'll draw, yeah?
The teeth.
Yeah, because it has the teeth, yeah?
The tongue.
Yeah. Yes.
Salivary glands.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Esophagus.
Yeah.
Stomach.
Yes.
Small intestine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
large intestine.
Uh-huh.
Why do
Can you see these ones? I wrote them in green, which is probably not the best color.
Oh, I can see it.
You can see them all.
Yeah, I can.
Fantastic. So after the large intestine we have?
Pardon?
After the large
Oh, wait, I
intestine?
forgot something.
Oh, okay. What did you forget?
Before the large intestine,
Uh-huh.
there's also the liver and the pancreas.
Okay. So would you like me, shall I write them? So did you say before the large intestine, you'll be wanting to discuss the liver?
And pancreas.
Okay, yeah. And then?
Then the large intestine.
Okay.
Why am I looking that way?
I don't know.
I'm looking at the board, but then my eyes are still there.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so after large intestine is the rectum.
Okay, fantastic. Yes.
And the anus.
Fantastic. I was actually going to draw a picture, a diagram of it all. However, I think that it might take a little while to draw a diagram, and you and I will need to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So perhaps, unless if you really want the diagram now, but the diagram as well might take up space. Joe, I can't see you.
I'm here.
You can't keep sort of disappearing from the camera. So in terms of if we were to draw a diagram, it might be too big. So we might think about a small diagram, or we can leave it like that in words. What are your thoughts?
We can leave it like that, and then once we're about close, and if we have some spare time, then we can do the diagram.
Okay, today or another time? That's the question. Your decision.
Today only if we have some spare time.
Okay, so we'll cover everything today, and then at the end, we'll draw the diagram.
Yes.
And then we'll decide, to then move the diagram to this space and leave it there and label it. Brilliant. So in terms of the mouth, yesterday you were telling me that, you were telling me about teeth and everything. And do you know the structure of the teeth at all, including the jaw?
I know the names of the teeth and the functions, but
if we could to bring the skeleton and you're looking at the skeleton, so you would know what a jaw is, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, and how many parts does a jaw have? So the jaw has two parts, the upper jaw
and the lower jaw.
Fantastic. Do you know what the upper one is called? Okay, that's why you are here. It's called the maxillary jaw. And it's attached to the skull. Don't worry about the names. We'll just mention them as we go. It's not important to remember them. And the lower one is called the mandible. And it moves.
I've heard of mandible.
Now you know what it is. And the difference between the two is that the upper one, can you see it's fixed to the skull? You couldn't move it without moving your head at all because it's fixed there. And the lower one can move up and down, side to side, and forwards and backwards. And why do you think it can move like that?
So that you can chew.
Yay! And really, if we were to describe the jaw as we open that, what do you think the jaw actually does, really?
The hinges.
Yeah.
The hinges help it open.
Yeah, but what are we opening?
Our mouth.
Yeah, so it creates the cavity of the mouth, doesn't it?
I thought cavity was something wrong with the teeth.
Well, a cavity is a hole of some sort. So if something is a hole where you feel you can, there is space created, then that is a cavity. We can have small cavities such as with your teeth, as you are saying, and you can insert a tiny pin, and we can have cavities such as the mouth cavity that can house things, or as you mentioned, the anal cavity. So things can be called a cavity as long as they can have space. So as you can see, with the jaw, it opens and houses the mouth.
Yes.
So we're starting there. So we have a mouth, and what is inside the mouth? You told me about. Okay.
And your tongue.
Yep.
Isn't your tongue really, really long?
It is. A tongue is. It is long. Yes, and it also is called a muscle.
Oh, it's a muscle.
Yeah, because yesterday we were talking about muscles. I wondered though. Oh, I can't even spell muscle at the moment.
Wait, but I thought muscles contract.
But your tongue contracts. Can you roll your tongue? Yeah, can you pull out your tongue and let it hang out of your mouth? Are you not stretching that muscle? Yeah, isn't that stretching?
You can also do.
Yeah. And you can also contract it when you move it back. For example, when you try to scream and go, ah! that shortening and contracting?
Oh, true.
So how does it feel to think about your tongue as a muscle?
Now I can believe it.
Okay, fantastic. So that's why it is a muscle.
Okay.
And also a tongue, as you know.
Wait.
Yeah?
I need to take notes.
Right.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so I actually do have space. So teeth, mouth. Mouth. Teeth. Tongue is a
Tongue.
muscle.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay.
Please.
And we know that your tongue is a muscle. So when you're learning at school, were you looking at diagrams of things in order to know what things look like?
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we draw a diagram of one tooth in the jaw? Do you think that will be helpful to you?
Well, yes, that would be very... Wait, yeah, that would be very helpful.
Okay. So if we were to think about the structure of the tooth, it looks so this is what one tooth would look like.
So the top of it is the crown.
Oh, you already know that. Okay, so let me put in the gum so that you can then tell me about everything, the stuff that you know.
Oh, no.
Yes, yes. Why not? So yeah, so the crown is, oh hang on.
It's the top.
So when you say top, what do you mean?
I mean the bit of the tooth that you can see.
Ooh, well done. So all of this from here will be the crown. And what about the other bit that we can't see?
The root.
Yep. And the root ideally is under the,
Gum.
yep. And also inside the jaw. Remember that our teeth are embedded into the jaw.
Jaw.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see thanks to Mr. Skelly.
Yeah, Mr. Skeleton is useful. So our teeth are embedded into the jaw, and you know that the jaw is a bone, right?
Yes.
Good. And you also remember from yesterday we briefly talked about veins and arteries. Do you remember
Yes.
that? So under
Doesn't the reed have a lot of those
a lot of what?
veins and arteries?
Yes, I was just about to say that if you think about it, under the jaw, although you can't see it, we have arteries which are red.
And veins that are blue.
Yep. Well done. And we also have, do you know, have you heard about nerves?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the nervous system.
Yep. Good.
And the nerves send electrical signals to the brain.
Oh, Michelle, is there anything that you really don't know? Why do you need me? So we'll draw nerves as orange. Because they are usually a bungle.
A lot.
And they can send signals to the brain and receive signals from the brain as well. As you say.
Electrical signals.
Yes. The transmission of signal is so how the nerves, arteries, and veins, arteries, and nerves get into the teeth is through a section that is called the pulp. And the pulp is Is in the right? Is oh yeah, gone.
I didn't hear you before.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know the thing keeps stopping. FaceTime keeps stopping. Okay, so inside the tooth, there is a section right in the inner region, which we'll draw like this, which is called a pulp, and it houses the nerves and the arteries and the blood vessels. Sorry, nerves, veins, and arteries.
Yes.
Yes, so this is called a pulp. It's a short word. And above the pulp of a tooth is a section that is called a dentin. Dentin. So this orange bit is called a dentin. Dentin.
Crown pulp.
Crown dentin pulp.
Dentin. Crown dentin veins.
And
How do
remember,
you spell artery? So crown, pulp, dentin, veins, artery, and nerves.
yes, but remember the crown is only the top and the bottom is the root, right? So this bit really is not called the crown, it's actually called the enamel. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, the enamel covers the teeth, and people say it's really, really hard.
Yeah, the enamel is really, really hard. And then
But
after
how
the...
is it?
Yeah, go on.
How is it really, really hard if the enamel can be broken?
It can be broken, yes, with huge force, or if you keep brushing your teeth really hard, then it can wear out, and as it wears out, it becomes, obviously, it loses its rigidity, its hardness. Does that make sense? So remember, this is the enamel. And Joe, we need to be clear that below, above the gum is the crown and below is the root.
Yes, I know.
I know you told me, but I didn't want you to think that just because you can see something that the crown is part of the layers of the teeth. I wanted to be clear that the layers of the teeth are the enamel, the dentin, and then the pulp in the inner middle. And then the pulp has the veins, arteries, and nerves. Okay, so as you have already mentioned that, the enamel is really hard, and you've wondered, then if it's so hard, how come it can be, broken? And so that leads us to talk about things that can go wrong, as in diseases.
And tooth decay and cavities with the teeth.
Yep, well done. So yeah, tell me, so you're talking about tooth decay.
Yes, tooth decay.
And what else?
And teeth cavities.
Fantastic, yeah. And what else?
So cavity would be the hole in the teeth. Cavity. And then tooth decay. What colour would the teeth go if they had tooth decay?
What color do you think teeth will go if they had tooth decay?
Yellow?
Probably brown, black. Remember it's decaying, it's rotting away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Decay?
Shall I rub out this word so that it's not under diseases?
Okay.
And then what other diseases do you think we can get in our teeth?
That's a deep decay in teeth cavities, but what else?
Yeah, you know, what else do we have in the teeth? If you look at it.
You have. Oh wait. Oh, what about your enamel breaking?
Yeah, and how do you think enamel could break it? Perhaps crack?
So enamel can break, but probably maybe because you're brushing your teeth too hard.
Brushing your teeth too hard can lead to the enamel losing some of its hardness and becoming a little bit soft, and then it will be likely to break. But given that enamel is so hard, you know, what things do you think could actually cause enamel to break?
But I think something even harder.
Yeah, you know, what else?
Maybe if you okay, so this is just a scenario, but it's just something that can happen.
Yeah, tell me the scenario. I'm interested.
So let's say you're walking on a tightrope. And it's it's really high up.
Yeah.
If you fall.
Yeah.
Your teeth could fall out, but then there's a chance that your enamel will break.
Fantastic. So even
all of the force.
Yeah. So that is a really good example of how you can break enamel. And what, you know, you've already mentioned, say if you fell, say you were playing, you know, outside.
Football, basketball.
Oh yeah, there you are. You know.
Basketball would be a better idea because let's say if you do a slam dunk and then you fall.
Absolutely.
Basketball would be the better thing.
Absolutely. So we can have in emergencies, because all those things are not things that happen, you know, all the time. So there are accidents. So we can say if you had an accident, such as falling or being hit by a ball, as you said. So that can lead you to break your teeth. Break your enamel, yeah, and teeth. And what other things are there in our you know, as part of the root?
Okay, so there is the part of the root.
As part of the tooth. Did I say root? Sorry.
Yeah, you said root.
Ah, sorry. Part of the tooth. It's good you're listening.
Actually,
huh?
You said root.
Okay, so it's good that you're listening. So part of the tooth.
Okay, then the gum is what?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah. Gone. What could happen to it?
The gum?
Yeah, what could happen to the gum?
Stop bleeding.
Yay.
Like if you're flossing and you're too close to the gum, it can start to bleed.
Yep.
It happened to a lot of people in my class.
Oh gosh, yeah, that is common actually. However, say if someone was not brushing their teeth and they were not flossing, and all the food that they ate was in between their teeth and embedded into the gum, and that food started to rot away, what then do you think would happen?
Wait, the tooth stopped what?
If the food is under the gum, it's embedded under the gum, and the food starts to rot away, don't you think it could irritate the gum as well and cause the gum perhaps to start having an inflammation?
Oh yeah.
Yay. So tell me about that. What do you think how that happens?
By getting irritated, by your gum irritating.
Irritated by what?
By food.
Because you don't do what?
Brush your teeth.
And floss. Yeah. So, do you and also? Oh yeah.
I have a question. Do all teeth fall out?
All teeth have the potential to fall out. Say if you had an accident. However, as you know and as you have experienced, what have you experienced in your life?
I've experienced my tooth being wobbly and then it just plopped.
Yeah, and as you were telling me yesterday, why was that? Those are your what teeth?
Those are your adult teeth starting to grow in and push the baby teeth out.
Yeah. Yes, Joe.
Can your canines fall out?
They can, say if you had an accident, all teeth have the potential to fall out if you had an accident, or if you do not look after them really well, then your gums become infected and inflamed and they can no longer hold the tooth together. So the tooth loosens out of the jaw and it can fall out because there is nothing to support it and keep it within the gum socket.
Okay. I mean naturally. Can canines fall out naturally?
But why would they? No, naturally they don't need to fall out. They can fall out with advanced age.
Okay.
But naturally, what were your thoughts?
No, because I thought that all teeth fall out naturally.
Yes, but we did.
Wisdom.
But we talked about that. You lose all your primary teeth and gain your adult teeth. So I thought we'd already covered that. And then when you have your adult teeth, they're supposed to remain there.
I know, and because my canines are baby teeth.
Are they?
Yeah.
Then wait for them. Okay, shall we discuss your personal story?
No, I'm just asking. So do baby canine teeth fall out?
Because you are born without them, aren't you? Then you have your first teeth. And your first teeth need to fall out so that you can gain your adult teeth.
Oh.
Yeah. And then once you have your adult teeth, they ought to remain with you for life, literally. Unless obviously if you have diseases that then cause the teeth to fall out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so is it bad that if I have a wobbly... So it's not bad that I have a wobbly canine?
Well, if it hadn't fallen out before, then perhaps we're looking at it falling out and your adult one coming through.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I've been looking after my teeth very well.
I know you do look after your teeth very well and you go to the dentist as well, which is really good. Keep it up. But I don't want you to start worrying about your teeth. Remember, we're just learning about diseases that can happen. It doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. It doesn't mean it's going to happen to me, but it's just diseases that we need to be aware of, the diseases of the mouth. Yes, Joe?
Yeah, I know that. I know. I wasn't worried. I was just wondering whether canines can fall out because first the other dad said that canines do not fall out. So then I was wondering, well, I thought all teeth fell out.
Okay, perhaps you could research that yourself, and then perhaps you can tell me the answer tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to write down research about canine teeth? Canine, yeah.
I'm just going to write... Research.
Then we can have an answer tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then how about what other things could go wrong in the mouth? Not just the teeth.
Your tooth,
Mm-hmm.
it could, if you have an accident, your tooth could fall out.
Yeah.
And then you would have to put the tooth in milk.
Yeah.
Get like a little towel and you can get rid of some of the blood and you'll need to go to the hospital, right?
Yes. So it falls under accidents. And then think about it. Have you ever had a little tiny sore anywhere in your mouth?
It's only started to feel sore a few minutes so it was about to fall out. So apart from that, no.
Okay, not just the teeth, but the mouth itself.
No.
Okay. So people can get sores on their gums.
Oh.
Yep. And usually you have to rinse it with salt, salty water, and it can
I've had to
heal.
do that. Ugh.
Why did you have to do that?
I don't remember why. It didn't have anything to do with my mouth.
Did you have a sore throat?
Might have been a sore throat.
Yeah.
Probably a sore throat.
Yes.
I did not like it.
I know, it's not very pleasant, is it? Having to...
Yeah, but how does salted water help with sores?
Because salty water actually... The sores usually are caused by things like bacteria and, inflammation. Usually inflammation is due to because there's a tiny bit of infection there. And the infection could be the bacteria. And so bacteria doesn't like salty water. So when you're using salty water, you're getting rid of the bacteria.
Oh.
Yeah.
Salty water rids bacteria.
Yep. It's like an antiseptic of some sort. Because bacteria does not like to live in salty water.
Salty water rid bacteria.
Yay.
Or bacterium.
Bacterium is one bacteria. Do you know that?
Yes.
It's a single cell. Then bacteria is...
A lot.
Yeah.
I read it in a science. Remember that science dictionary you got me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, no,
You,
it's the study grammar one.
I didn't even remember that you have a science dictionary.
I remembered I've been using it sometimes.
Oh, well done. That's really impressive.
Oh, it might actually be a good idea for me to get it out. So
Yeah.
that, just in case I might need it.
Yep. Because it's the best way to refer to things.
This is, oh no, this was the science dictionary.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you put it up the camera first time. Yeah, Oxford
it's
Primary
because-
Illustrated Science Dictionary.
It's because when I was looking at it through there, it was backwards, so I was thinking, oh no, it's spelling and grammar stuff.
Ah, right.
Okay, here's the science dictionary.
Well done. I'm glad you have one. And you are using
Thank
it.
you for that.
Hmm?
Oh, the stomach lining.
Joe, can we focus first on what we're doing? Can we now move on from this? Do you feel you understand the diseases of the mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, of one of the gums, really. So now if we move to the tongue, I suppose. Shall we do that? I'm going to rub all of this out. Did you need it there?
No, not really.
Okay, cool.
The top. Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Why did you rub out the things that went up in the mouth?
Why did I?
Those are the things we were learning about.
So why did I rub out what?
Because you wrote mouth there and wrote the things that we're going to do.
I haven't. They're still there.
No, I mean, no, not that.
Here.
Yes.
But it's just a tip and tongue. So now I'm just going to write tongue. You mean what was there?
Yeah.
Yeah. We wrote teeth. And we tick that. So now write, because I'm trying to make space. So now we're doing the tongue. I'm not going to tick it. So we've already been discussing the tongue actually, and we say the tongue is a
Muscle.
well done.
They contract, like when you do this.
Huh?
And they contract when you do this.
Yeah. So it's a muscle. You can roll it as you are doing. It can contract as you say, and it can extend.